Welcome back to Guitar Solo Dojo. Jason Moore here. I'm going to help you inject a little bit of spice into your pentatonic playing today. So this isn't necessarily a new concept, but if you haven't seen it, I'm going to show it to you. So I'm going to take an E minor pentatonic and just start it from 12th fret. So we're going to pentatonic pattern number 1. And I'm going to combine that with pentatonic pattern number 2, which would start from G, which is also the G major pentatonic. Instead of playing these two scales separately, and I'm adjusting because I'm going to have to do a nice big stretch here, so I'm going to take both of these scales and just put them together. Now, if you haven't seen these things spliced together, you haven't thought about it, maybe you have, maybe you haven't, you'll notice that there's a one-note overlap on every string when you connect these two pentatonic scales together. Meaning, the second note on each string of pentatonic number 1 is the same exact note and pitch as the first note on each string of pentatonic number 2. So all these notes here, so if I take the first note of 1 and the second note of 2, we've got all these notes in the middle that overlap in each pattern. And we're going to use that to create some cool sounds. And so what you end up having is when I play these three notes together, that the only three notes on the E string between those two patterns, I add in that second note of pattern number 2. So I'm going to get this. Now, as it turns out, of course, if I play that second note and I go back to the first note of pattern number 1 on the A string, it's the same exact note. In this case, it's an A. So here's what it's going to sound like to connect those two. So I've got two repeating notes, which in the context of a scale, just playing a scale, you don't normally do, but in the context of a cool fill, you will do. So we're going to go like this. So I'm just adding in those three notes on the next string as well, so it looks like this. Okay, if you don't follow me, I'll play it really slowly. Now, that's the basic idea. You're not necessarily going to play that straight up and straight down like I just did. You might want to do some really cool things. So if I take a normal pentatonic, just a regular old pattern, I can play it in threes, descending or ascending. I'll play it in descending threes, where I would just go. Right? You probably know that pattern. If you don't, you should definitely learn it. I can do the same exact thing using this, where I have the three notes per string on this. So now I'm going to play that in threes, where I'll go like this. And what you're going to hear is some notes repeated 3 times consecutively. So if I do this, sorry. I'm trying to play it slow and I can't. So if we play this slow, we do these threes descending. So this note was played 3 times in a row. So if I do this continually, that's what it looks like. So that would be that descending pattern in threes. Now the other thing you could do, take that pattern of threes again and just skip the middle note altogether. And that gives you more of a quirky sound where you're just basically duplicating notes the whole time. So I could do this. Here's the new pattern. I'll just go like this. And it has a very distinct, different sound than if you were just to repeat those notes on the same string. So here it is quickly. Anyway, just some fun little things to make your pentatonic a little more interesting.